What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Planet Coaster. Today, we are going to attempt to see if we can't build some sort of ride over in this lake area back in here. Now, I have already tested multiple different ride types. I've tested 2 track rides that are sort of water-inspired, and then I've also tested a coaster that is water-inspired, as well as just a regular coaster. Of course, I did have to research those, so that was all done off camera, but by definition of insanity, I'm going to try the exact same stuff that I did during testing, expecting different results. So this should be interesting. Hopefully you guys are excited that we are back on Planet Coaster. Also, before we get going here, I do just want to say that I do get this question a lot, and I feel like I should probably just address it in a video rather than in the comments. So if for whatever reason a series that you're currently watching here on the channel doesn't get uploaded for 1, 2, even 3 days, that doesn't mean that series is over. All right? Just so we're clear, I've gotten a lot of questions about that as of late, and just wanted to clarify. So let's get going here by trying to build another coaster. The coaster that I researched, or coasters, is the Junior Dragon, the Water Coaster Cascade, as well as the Boom Boat and the White Water. These two didn't really work just because when you place them down in water, most times the track is still very visible even underneath the water's surface, so they just kind of look a little weird. So rather than doing those, my thought process here is I think I'd much rather like the look of a coaster going over the water rather than a water track ride going under the water, if that makes sense. So we're going to start things off by using the Junior Dragon, and I'm just going to get this roughly placed, probably right about there, should be fine. Now what I want to try to do here is encompass the border of this lake slash pond with a track and kind of try to make this coaster follow the curvature of the pond. Now I did adjust the pond significantly. It's far deeper now. And let's have this spot right here be its initial descent. So that's where we'll actually sort of start the drop of the coaster. It'll be sort of behind the Main Street Creamery over here that I kept calling the Main Street Cafe in the last episode, and I haven't a clue why. So we're gonna drop this down. Unfortunately, 30 degrees is the maximum on this coaster, but we're gonna bring it down all the way till about here, and then we'll sort of gradually bring it back to 0. Now, it's gonna be super close to the Main Street Creamery, but I'm not really too worried about that. It's not like people are gonna be sticking their arms and feet out the ride. Let's bring this up, 22.5, and then back down. We're gonna give them that one thing that they love so much that completely blows my mind, and that is these little tiny baby hills. I don't know why, but that's just their favorite thing of all time. So we're gonna do one of those there, and then we're gonna start turning this thing around. What might even be cooler is if we do a nice big banked turn that goes down underneath the center of this bridge. That might look pretty dope. So let's back this up even more. Okay, so right here, I'm gonna go ahead and bank it. Let's do 22.5 to start, and then we'll up it to 45. And we can start the turn right here. Let's do a sharp turn. No, that's probably gonna be too sharp. We'll have to do 22.5. No big deal. Oh, we're gonna need a sharper turn, boys. We are gonna need a sharper turn. Let's up this to 45. Okay, and then right here, since it's going into the water now. Oh God, we're gonna have to back it up one more. Let's bring this one up 1, and then this one up 1, back to 0. That looks pretty good to me. And now we can bring it straight underneath this bridge. So that's gonna give us a hill at the start, and then a huge turn into the right. Nice big banked turn. Then it'll go back straight. Where do we want it to go from here? We could have it go under the second bridge, but I think that's pretty obvious. I don't want the ride to be over that quick. So what I'm gonna do is start turning this again. We're gonna do a nice gradual bank and immediately hit it with a 45 and a 45-degree turn. And we are quite literally just gonna turn this train around. Okay. This is getting out of hand very, very fast, but we have that bump section, then that little turned hill into a twisty, very, very harshly banked turn to the left, And then we have a similar thing going on over here, except it loops back, real big loop, flat loop, of course, because it's an all-age ride. You know, you can't have any inversions on this thing. But now that we're about in the center of this track again, I think I'm gonna do a chain lift right here. So we just brought that bank back to a 0. So let's try another friction wheel lift, and we're just gonna bring this thing to the freaking moon, dude. And we can continue on our regular track pieces. Let's bring that back out to 26.25. This is all looking really good. Does the music seem especially loud today, or is that just me? Oh, you know what it is? I don't normally build on play. I normally pause every single time that I build. So that's probably the reason. I'm gonna bring that down as far as it'll go, which is only 30 degrees. It's not much, but at least it's something. And then it is touching the water already. Okie dokie. So let's back that up one more. And then to there. And then finally to 0. So it is just barely above the surface of the water. That's looking nice. Then we got to give them something else out here. I just don't know what yet. Maybe let's extend that as far as it'll go. And we'll just bring it out straight for right here. A turn to the right. Maybe let's do 45 degrees with a huge bank. So they're just skimming above the water. And then this part, we'll bring that straight. Make the bank go the opposite direction. A huge 60-degree bank. We're just going to swing it all the way around here. Now over here, we're going to start to taper that off. So let's do 33 and then back to 0. And then let's just hit it with the autocomplete to finish it off. I can't imagine they're going to carry a ton of speed into the end of this, but you never know. I suppose they could. So this is almost exactly what I tried in practice, and it didn't work at all. It was one of the worst coasters I've ever built. So let's see if this thing is any better, dude. By definition of insanity, we are just going to try the same thing and expect a different result. So let's get in first-person view. We'll just see what this thing is like, dude. I'm kind of excited, but I'm also just expecting it to do poorly. The chain lift speed is bad, too. Okay, here's that big descent. Now, since this train is so long, I don't think we're actually going to feel the descent in the front right away. The people in the back are probably going to experience that more. Could use some banks right there. Some banking would probably be nice. Here's that first turn under the bridge. Bring it right back around to the left. It's pretty smooth. All things considered, I don't think it's rough in any way. Okay, another chain lift. It's gonna bring it up just a little bit. It almost makes it to the top with its steam that it had when it was coming in, you know? Again, terrible drop because the train is so long. But it does carry a lot of speed, a lot of momentum. That looks cool. I like the way that turned out, super close to the water like that. And back into the station. It does have quite a bit more speed than I thought it was going to have coming back in. But let's see what our results are. That is bad. That is bad. I'm ashamed to have built this at all. That is really bad. It's got a good prestige, though, which is kind of surprising. So I think what I'm going to do for this back bit right here, the autocomplete, man, it just wasn't cutting it. There's only so much that autocomplete can do. You never want to just let autocomplete take the wheel. So right here, let's do a small little friction brake, and then we can do a pretty sharp 90-degree turn. And then we'll take it out to maybe a 45, do autocomplete back in. That should help, I would think. Let's also adjust both of the chain lift speeds because, yeah, they're set at 4, dude. That's pathetic. Okie dokie. Let's test this bad boy again. We'll see if the results are any better.
My leg!
Oh, you guys, my neck hurts so bad right now. Obviously, scenery change, different backdrop behind me. Oksana and I packed up everything. We went to the lake because our internet back at home has been garbage. I'm talking download and upload speeds of 1. And that is it. So while we're here, I'm using a similar TV to what I have back at home. However, it's mounted a lot higher than the other one. So it's putting some strain on my neck, but we'll be fine. Okay, that's way too slow. Are you joking, dude? Are you I didn't I didn't say slow it down until it just can't go anymore. Okay, so we're going to completely delete that and replace it with a standard piece of track. That sucked. And let's test it again. Okay, well, it had decent speed coming back in there, but hopefully the rating is slightly better because of that. Maybe? I don't even remember what it was at first, dude. We got a prestigious 609 now, though. That's not actually too bad. 609 divided by 35, that'd be 1740, which is pretty dang good for a coaster this rushed. Let's just put that at the front. That should be fine. And then the exit, do it all the way at the rear. I do want to build a building for this. I'm just not sure what I want it to look like yet. And then we'd also have to research, depending on like what theme we'd want to go with, you know, we'd also have to research those architectural pieces. I don't know that we're gonna build a building over top of this thing today, but what I can do is continue the path that we had just over here all the way to this other side. Okay, I definitely brought that path out like way farther than it needs to, but I think that looks all right. You know what? We don't need the biggest path in the world over here, because I can't imagine there's going to be a lot of foot traffic. This is quite literally, or at least for now anyways, the only thing that's going to be in this area. So let's go ahead and bring our exit path just over here. Let's do something kind of unique. We don't need a completely straight path. We'll do something like that. For the queue, I'm not going to do anything crazy right now, but we are going to use a very small queue. And I think I'm actually going to start it clear over here in the corner right there. And then we'll bring it out just next to that main path that we just laid. All right, oddly enough, I don't hate that. I don't really hate that at all. I think the line's gonna be plenty long because keep in mind, look at how long this train is, dude, or this coaster. It's insanely long. If we go check out any of the other coasters we have, it's like double their length, maybe even triple. And then this coaster over here just has little individual cars, wherever they are. Just little mice, little mices. I think this is gonna work. Let's go ahead and just crank her open. Let's open her right up. Change a couple of the operations really quick though, so we'll close it. And let's do full load. Wait time, all that is fine. We can open her on up, dude. All right, if you guys have any name suggestions instead of the dragon, let me know. I can't really say that there's probably a better one than the dragon though, just because the coaster car is in the shape of a dragon. So anything else really probably wouldn't make much sense. But it looks like people are starting to come out here already. I'm gonna go ahead and take this time while we're waiting to smooth everything out on the edges over here where we put that new path. Just try to make it look a little bit nicer for the time being. So initially when I said that I can't imagine there's going to be a lot of foot traffic over here, I was expecting like maybe a handful of people to come out here right away. Definitely not this many people. So I'm going to add a secondary path now. From here over to, I guess right here, we could do a sort of T intersection. I don't know. That looks a little funny. Can we smooth that out at all? Can we do something like that? Nope, that's not gonna work. What about on this side? We can probably smooth that out, right? Oh yeah, baby. Yeah, I'd say that's about perfect. And that should allow for people to come and go on two different paths rather than just the one that we had before. And the line is filling up, dude. Look at that. That's impressive. Honestly, that's very impressive. I was not expecting this to perform at all. I'm surprised people are even walking to it in the first place. They have this entry point here. They have through this building and then on the back side of this path, or they also have just over here in front of the Main Street Creamery. They could just take this back path here. So sucks that their exit's clear over here though, because nothing else is happening out here. All right, let's make sure full load's working because it looks like there's only a handful of people on here right now. They should make their way to the exit. And then I'm curious on how many new people it's going to let on now that we've changed the capacity. All right, all the new people are going to start getting on now. I wonder if it's just because of the timing that I have it set for. It's a really long coaster. I want to make sure I gave them plenty of time to load it all up. Not quite. Oh, okay, there we go. Okay, we're good. I was gonna say it's not quite fully loaded, but it is. We got all the seats filled up. They are going on their maiden voyage now, dude. And the path is moving along nicely. I can honestly say that. This is becoming an issue still, though. This is a minor problem right here. We have this sort of bottleneck now. We've created a jam. in our path. I'm gonna fix this some other time. I don't really feel like fixing this right now, or even addressing the issue. I already tried with the forked path, and that obviously didn't cut it. So we're just gonna leave that. We're gonna pretend like that is not even there. All right, and here comes the maiden voyage. We're gonna see how they're feeling after that ride. I'm gonna click on some people. I don't normally do this, but you can see their thoughts about the coaster. Dragon 6 would look better with more scenery. That's fair. Zipper looks too intense. Check someone else. The scenery on the dragon is amazing. I barely queued for the dragon at all. Dragon 6 looks really cool. I didn't have to queue that long for Dragon 6, and I barely queued at all. Okay, so kind of the same thing overall. Some people want more scenery. Other people think it's just fine. I don't know if the lake adds scenery or not, or even if these buildings would add a scenery boost to it. I can't imagine they would. They're so far away from the station. And the line is full. We have a very, very full line out here. We have 1,100 people in the park right now, $37,000, and we are September of year 5. So we're doing pretty good. What's our overall rating? 747. That's pretty good. Ride ratings actually decently high, and we have a guest happiness percentage of plus 19. Honestly, no complaints, dude. I don't love this coaster. I think it's kind of tacky and gross looking. I'm not going to change any of the colors either. I want to make sure I leave enough things for you guys to suggest. So if you have any suggestions on how I should do the building surrounding the station, or even if I should do that, definitely let me know. Definitely let me know what colors I should do for this ride, or if you have any suggestions on scenery, how I should go about, you know, doing plants and trees and shrubbery and all that good stuff. But for the time being, I do think I'm going to wind this episode down here. So once again, if you guys did enjoy, please leave a like, leave a comment, help support the dream by smashing that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Peace.